After 2 years of research, we have finally come to a precise pattern on how jailbreak works on different Kaios devices. The approach is based on the type of processor used on the device: Qualcomm, Spreadtrum or Mediatek. Here are the 5 situations. Situation 1, typical of Qualcomm-based devices. If the code hash number 33284 # needed for debugging works, we must verify if we have access to ADB and WebIDE. If all goes well, we can use OmniSD or Wallace to perform a privileged factory reset and get the jailbreak. Situation 2, typical of Spreadtrum-based devices. If the code hash number 33284 # needed for debugging works, we must verify if we have access to ADB and WebIDE. If the result is negative, enable debugging using the code hash number 0574 # and retry the access to ADB and WebIDE. If all goes well, we can use Wallace-toolbox to perform a privileged factory reset and get the jailbreak. Situation 3, typical of Mediatek-based devices. The debug code does not work. Let's check if fast boot is available. If we have it, let's check if it is possible to flash the cache partition. If all goes well, use the so-called cache injection method, and we will get the developer menu. Jailbreak succeeded. Situation 4, typical for all the locked devices. The debug code does not work and fast boot is not available even to flash the partitions. Let's check if we have other tools to flash the partitions. If yes, we can use the cache injection method, and we will get the developer menu. Jailbreak succeeded. Situation 5. The debug code does not work, fast boot is not available and we don't even have tools to flash the partitions. Jailbreak is not possible. Thanks to this study, we managed to jailbreak 48 different Kaios devices, dividing as follows. 6 devices, all Mediatek and 2 Alcatel variants of the 4044X series, all with the Qualcomm chipset, fall under situation 1, using only one code. 13 Spreadtrum-based devices, including the various energizers, Orange, Positivo, Alcatel 3078 and 3088. All fall under situation 2, using 2 codes. 3 Mediatek-based devices fall into situation 3, using the cache injection method. 26 devices, including all the JioPhone variants divided between Spreadtrum and Qualcomm, fall under situation 4, using dedicated tools to flash the partitions. And at the end, for the situation 5, currently only 6 devices are considered blocked, and they are all based on Qualcomm, but with the right tools we would be able to bring them back into situation 4 or 3, unlocking them. One thing is certain, while this video is uploaded, the devices that we do not know and on which we have no researchers are only 7. This means that our community is growing up. Other devices will arrive in the future, but until then our community will be even bigger. Thanks to all of you for the support and for the continuous contribution you make to our resources. Thanks to your feedback, our documentation is increasingly enriched, in the name of research and digital inclusion, so that every country in the world can truly participate in the development of Kaios. Thanks you all. BananaHackers.net. Join the revolution.